Hello and welcome back to my craft room. As you can see, I'm working on my bee journal, and today we're going to make a flippity flop that I've made for it here. So Took's kit is about bees, and I have a whole lot of these tales, these Beatrix Potter books that a child has scribbled on or just filthy, or they've cut their teeth on them, and they can't be sold at the thrift store. So I take them home instead of having them go in the garbage. So what this one is this is, let me see if I can get it in. So this flips out this way. So there's a pocket here. Let me start here. So you have a pocket here, and it flips out this way, and you have another pocket. And then this is an envelope, and I've used some of Took's writing paper with 2 writing spots. And then this is a tuck. This is a tuck, again with the tags, and another piece of writing paper with some of Took's paper in there. And then this pulls out with a big tag in behind it. Now, this will make the journal quite thick, in that that adds a fair bit of bulk. So I'm probably only going to add just 5 signatures, so I'll put 3 of these in and then use something else in the other ones. So let's get down to making it. So I'm going to sit down here. And of course, I forgot to put my mic on, so I hope you heard all of that. And so what we have, I'll deconstruct this. So I have a craft envelope. They're nice and sturdy. And that is glued. So we want the craft envelope to flip up. So how did I do that? Oh my goodness gracious me. The things you forget, right? So this, oh, I see what I've done. Okay. I better leave this out so I can see it. Whoops, grab all the paper. So that is like that, correct. So this page, so you find a page that has no pictures on the back of it, and you put it and you glue that down. Now what you want to make sure is that you have some area, and what I've got is I'm going to start by gluing, because these pages are old. Because these pages are old, I want to make sure that I reinforce where it's going to flip. The worst thing that could happen is the person who purchases this journal have to have it rip. So I've got that down, and once the journal, it's made more, I will sew that down. So that's in there and folds in half. Yep. And I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors. Thank you for all the well-wishers for our little vacation that Paul and I took. We had a lovely time. Just a lovely time. Got a new setup here, so I want to make sure you can see me. So I am now going to glue this to here. But first I'm going to just turn this over. Just give that a bit of a I didn't do this on the other one, so I might regret having done it here, but we will see. I don't think so, because there's pockets goes on both of them. All right, so now we take our glue. And we glue this down. So I had called ahead to the campground because you've all heard my backing up the trailer story. And I said, is there any way that there could be help for me for backing this trailer up while my husband is getting much better and we can see the day that he can do that again. It isn't here yet. So I'm going to center that page in the middle of this cardstock here. And she said, well, my husband he has a second job and he doesn't get back from his second job until 5, and of course I wanted to go in about noon. So, all right, I'm doing this wrong already. So what I want to be able to do is I like it so that the fabric comes over the pocket. So I'm going to lift that up, set that side, and get my cardstock out. And my pockets are 1 1/4 inches by 2 inches. So I'll just cut them out and glue them down first. So anyway, she said, yes, there's a bunch of men on vacation here. I'm sure someone will help you. So when we pulled in, there were 4 gentlemen sitting on lawn chairs on our site, waiting for us to arrive. And these guys, one guy jumped out and look at how crooked that is. Oh, he jumped out and got us, backed us in there. Another guy was leveling it. I mean, they were tripping over themselves. It was so nice to help Paul and I set up. So it was literally stress-free. And I don't know how many nights I had not slept worrying about how I was going to back this darn trailer up. So we had a lovely time. Because I worry about backing the trailer up, we didn't use the water that our trailer hooks up to water. But we didn't use that because it's still winterized, and I don't want to have to dump a septic because that requires driving it out, hooking it up, not a problem, but it will require backing it back in there again, problem. So we didn't use the water. So we took our porta potty with us, but we used when we were tenting. So it was a little bit more work lugging water, but not bad. Not bad at all. And on the last day that we were there, Paul decided that he was going to try getting in the regular bed of our R-Pod. He couldn't right up until the day we left, and he was able to, so that was nice. So we can actually foresee a day that we can have our dinette back. But it was a beautiful weekend. It rained at night, which wasn't a problem for the dinette. And we used we have a little clam tent that we use that I highly recommend. I can put that sucker up and down all by myself in no time at all. And so I'm just going to put the punches on those. And our son was there to help us to help Paul and I hook the trailer up. So for me, that trailer didn't give me one moment of worry or grief the entire time. And do I ever enjoy camping? So it's nice to know that when the world gets back to being less strange, Paul and I will be in a position to use our camp, our trailer again. Really nice. So I drive home. The neighbor beside us had said, anytime you want to, you need it backed in, just come over. So I took him at his word and arrived, and we got home about 3:30 in the afternoon. And I walked over and knocked on his door, and clearly he'd been napping. But he came right out and helped, backed it in, and gave me a bit more direction on how to do it. And he said, I really am going to take you out. And I said, that would be so nice. And he said, so that after we've practiced, the next time you back it in, then you can just have me here to guide you in. And I expect, with as good as Paul has been doing it, by then Paul will be in a position to do it again. I'm hoping. Hope runs eternal, doesn't it? These are these laminated pieces of paper. It was from a recycle. There's 5 sheets in the package, and it was recycled. And what I do is when it gets too much of the ink, I just take it in and wash it off, and it's beautiful. It works really, really well. So that's done. Now, back to this. So that's glued on there now. Can I get that under? No, I'm going to have to cut this one just a bit to get it under that lace. I did this before. I don't know why I've done it twice, but I have it now. Can you tell me where I put my I love using my quilting square. Just makes life a lot easier. So that'll go under there, and that goes there. So I'm going to glue that down. And then I zigzag around. No, I don't zigzag around these, so I'm going to use my art glitter glue to make sure that I get a good and solid hold. So one day when we were there, we decided we wanted to have lunch by the lake, Lake Huron. So we drove to the end of the road where the campground was. And I'm just going to finish these off. So what I do is I take the quotes that are on the page, some of the pages that I won't use, and I just add them there just to give it a bit of something. Anyway, we drove to probably in 2 years ago, we would have walked it. It wasn't more than 3 miles away. And there were parasailers, maybe 6 or 7 of them. So we watched them while we had our lunch. It was very nice. And then we drove into Sauble, where it was very crowded. There was some sand festival going on. I'm not quite sure how they were keeping their distance. And we got an ice cream and drove home. I would say a perfect day. So there, and they'll sew down here. So that's the first one. So now we're just going to add the pocket to the next one. This is something that if you had book pages like these, that would work in so many, like these pages would work in a botanical book. They'd work almost anywhere. That you could make a head and have in your stash. What did I do? No, I didn't. I've also been known to glue down you could leave the quote off and make the quote more specific to the Peter, who was naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's and squeezed under the gate. Now, okay, yep, that's what I'm going to use. And and then have them to put in. I also think they'd make great Happy Mail. All right. There we go. And I'm not saying this is my original idea. Someone else may have done it, but I had envelopes and pages, and this is what came in my head. There really isn't anything new that we're doing, I don't think. So now this one here, because I'm attaching it to the flap, I need to use 2 pages. So just let me, and what you want is, you don't want one like this. You want one that has, thought I had one out here. What you want is a page that has, so that's going to go there. Let me go back and look at my master one here. You make them and you think you know what you're doing, right? Alright, so I want a picture. So what I'm doing, so you can see, is I am sorting through what I've ripped up. So that one has just 1 picture. Okay, now that one has 2. Is this what I used? Glue that onto there. That will come, so that's a pocket, that's a pocket, so that we have 1, 2, oh, did I blow it? I want to put 1 like that, and I want to put 1 like that on there, so that goes like that, and then so that is like that. This has to flip up. So I was probably, so I would suggest to you that I wanted that there. So this I want to flip up. And have a piece of paper there. Yep, I did it wrong. So what it should have been like, and can I get it off? No, I use that glue. It's not going to come off. Although, so this needs to be like that so it can flip this way. Alright, so I need to get a second envelope. Did I bring more envelopes down? Just give me a minute. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong while I'm doing this. Sorry. Alright, so I want it to flip. So if this had been put on instead of this way, if I'd done it this way on there and glued it down, then the next page would get glued like this and flip over. No, wait a minute. Let's just make sure we're doing this right. Yeah, because see, this would flip this way. So this doesn't flip. But let's just try a new one. What if I glue these two things together? All right, we're just going to work on a new one here. I'm going to glue these two flips together. So remember, you want to make it so that, I don't know what you want to make it so as. I'm making something different here because I blew it. All right, so this will flip up this way. Writing page, writing page, writing page. That's what I want. This will flip on here like that, and it'll close up this way and this way. All right, okay, I think we're cooking with gas here, but really what I want is one that has more pictures. So we have writing page, and see, this I made into a writing page, and then that flips like that, and then some of these pages I'm going to glue this one onto this page here. All right, I think I've fixed my mistake. If not, I'm just making something new then. So I'll make that a writing. So this is going to have 1, 2, 4 writing pages. Okay. Whoops. Sorry that this is becoming such a jumble. I need to write them down. I get into them and get talking to you and I get all befuddled. But befuddled isn't bad. Junk journaling is all about working with our mistakes. In my opinion. Okay, so this goes like this goes like this comes in like that, and we've got a booklet. All right, one. Now I need to create paper, so I need to cut this. Hang on. I will cut this. And that's paper, goes here, but it needs to be here because we want a rabbit running right there. So we're going to glue that down. And you know, somebody's going, well, no, that's okay, we like that. Or someone else is going, well, I don't like that. And I'm going, it works, I'm okay with it. And since my voice is the loudest here right now, we're good. So that goes like that, that goes like that, that closes like that, and I think we've got it. Now all I need to do is add one. Oh, I did, I got an extra pocket somehow. Okay, well, we'll just cut out another one of these. That's easy. One can never have too many pockets or too many tags. All right. Oh, and since we've been home, the temperature has skyrocketed again. Our son is helping Paul clean out the garage and get his tools all in one place. In the time leading up to his surgery and before we knew what he had, he was masking the confusion quite well. And as such, he's got tools everywhere. So the other night our son was over, and we have a pile that I've called the garbage pile or dump run, and in there was my grandfather's, Eric's great-grandfather's. Oh, come on. You push it and you play the piano. An organ, a something organ. Anyway, I didn't think anybody wanted it. It's gone home with our son. So, oops. All right, so that's there. I need another. And that's too big. I'm not real thrilled. I like this picture, but I'm not real thrilled with the other one, so I will not use it as a page. So I'm going to and these pieces of white, I will put bees on them to use in the journal. And then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley, or first he ate some lettuce, some French beans. No, I'll use this one. It was so hot the other day that the Salvation Army had to close. The air conditioning was not keeping up with the temperature inside the old building that they were in. Okay, so I need to get cut another pocket. Is that 1 1/4? Yep, that'll work. And I want 4 inches, 4 inches, yeah. Alright, and now I want that hit the floor. Cut that off. Get out my punch. I was thinking that I hear other crafters apologize to you for having, their dirty mats out when they're crafting. But when you're crafting, that's what you're doing, is using your dirty mats. I mean, So I'm not apologizing. This is where I work, and you're welcome to come along. All right. So the next thing I need to do is figure out where my cloth strips go to make sure that I've got the flips will stand the test of time and not wear out. All right, and I need another quote. I need another quote here. Come on, Peter, just one more simple quote. That's all I need. Picture. See, this one is about once upon a time there were 4 rabbits. I'll just, you know what I'm going to do? Hang on. My tear ruler hit the floor. I'm going to take it off right here. All right, so there's one. That's the craft paper, but that's going to be a fairly... So one goes here. For sure. And I'm using Fabri-Tac. I think, no, this is 2, 1 and 3. 3 and 1. And I think I want to put one here. But I'll do that when I decorate those pages, because that flips. And I want one right here. And this will be the back where the pocket goes. That big back pocket. When I glue it to the page. All right. So all of those, I'll let those dry. So then the next thing I need to do is add the paper here. And because I'm using bigger spaces, I will use, yeah, I like that piece of paper. I'm doing a contract at my last place from where I retired. And the contract requires me to be on a computer screen. And I did my first 2 days this week. It only took my neck less than 5 minutes to tell me it didn't want to be back sitting at a screen. And they use fluorescent lights, so I'm going to have to take in my own a light when I go in, because I'm going to have to shut those fluorescents off. And I have to say, it was just nice doing something that was using old skill sets that I have. To say using my brain would be unfair, because I use my brain in what I'm doing. Now, there's the top. How much of this will... I'm going to use this. I'm actually going to cut this paper because I want these flowers. This page is lovely. The yellow is my printer, not Took's paper, but I don't think it takes away from it, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Well, my son-in-law will come over and spend the time. 4 1/4. Where is it? I have to flip it around. Every once in a while I have to figure out how to do this. 4 1/4. So that's what the paper's going to be, so that's good. And then it is 6 1/4 tall. Well, no, it's not. It's less than that, isn't it? Really, Marjorie? Really? All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to dick around with measuring anymore. You're tired of me measuring. So because these get sewn on, I'm going to use glue stick. I didn't need to go all the way to the top though, did I? I don't have to worry about it wearing out because it's going to be sewn down. And then this one gets the other side of the page. So what was that? Just because I'd like to know. So I can't give you 5 3/4. I can't give you measurements because, of course, your card dictates what size everything will be. Geez, you know, now that I've made all these errors, I'm a little 4 1/4. Measure twice, cut once. There's some interesting things happening on YouTube as far as our communities go. And of course I like Roxy Creations, what she's doing there. I stopped doing her challenges because I have to get these books done, and because she started to make a, geez, that doesn't look right. No, it's not right. It's 5 3/4. She started to make, I know you were yelling and I heard you. the next, after the ones that I did, she started into making journal covers, which I'm not interested in doing. So I stopped, but I guess I could start again because I like what she's doing right now very much. So again, we're going to use the glue stick because we're going to sew that down. I think she's called Treasure Books, is doing an altered book with pockets in it. And I really like the challenge of doing that, so I think that's what I'm going to do for my Studio 28E design project for next month, is make one of those books. And then so again, this will get sewn all the way around, and on this page I think I'll use some of that, and I will use, where did I had it here, just a minute, oh there it is, use some of my hand dyed paper because this is what I did on the last one. So these papers here, 2 winters ago, before we went south, which seems like a century ago. Can I use this with the rip in it? Yes, if I put that over the rip. It was a notebook, and I just took the notebook and would turn some pages in front of the gas fireplace every night and spray coffee on them. And it worked really well. So at the end of it, I had a notebook of coffee dyed paper. So this is 4 1/4. And using ring-bound notebooks and then coffee dyeing all the pages in them is a nice gift to give a junk journaler, for sure. Hope I'm in frame. Okay. Get the glue stick out. I'm not sure where I stand on glue stick. I used it a lot. I have journals that are over 5 years old, and the glue stick has still really stood up. It hasn't come loose. But I hear people saying that it has for them, and so I just don't want to take a chance. I just don't want to take a chance. And then I am going to tear this. And I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to make sure that you're still filming. Yep, you're still filming. And I'm going to glue that right there to add an accent. to the page. And then the book is pretty much done, the construction of it. And sorry, it's a mess because I made the mistake. So it's probably a hard one to follow, but you know, we're not perfect. We were never meant to be perfect. And I believe imperfection is what makes things beautiful. All right, so let's go through this again. So what we've got is, probably it wants to lay this way. So one pocket, 2 pockets, 3 pockets. Oh, I have to add paper there. That's right, this one got I could have used a piece. All right. All right, quit nattering, Marjorie. Well, I'm going to add paper there. I'll take pictures of it when it's done. Here and here. And then you have the pockets here. And so it has 1, 2, 3, 4 writing pages. And 2, 4, 6 tags. And the original one was 1, 2, 3 writing pages, 4 places for tags, and a big tag in the back. This will have a big tag in the back as well. So what I did wrong here was, when I did this, I glued this page to the back of the envelope, and what I should have done is glued it to the this. It should have been like this. Here, I'm only going to confuse you. I hope you can see how it was done. But we fixed it and made something new. All right, I will, as always, post pictures of the finished product on the beginning of the video, and thank you for coming along.